Lee, you've sparked my fucking interest. Let's do it. Hold on 1 second. Let's do it. I got to see what's going on here. I have to. I was going to end the show, but I've got to see what's going on here. I really do. Starlet is talking to us right now. And the look at this DG area. By the way, welcome to DG360. This is a highlight going out to YouTube. If you're watching us on DG360, congratulations. You have really good taste. We love you. We do. We always love you. And remember that. That love will never die. Cherish that love. But I saw this in the look at this DG area, and I don't know what to think. Lee Fall put it there. Dual universe. And let me tell you, I spent a lot of time in dual universe. I made a video a month or two back talking about all the problems with dual universe, but the reasons I like dual universe, but how basically there's no more mining in planets right now is really whack. Like, you know, they took away a portion of gameplay that I absolutely love. But I love the manufacturing and the trading in dual universe, but I think they fucked it up. I think NovaQuark has fucked it up. And ever since the CEO left, I feel like a lot of the heart and soul of dual universe is gone. But I saw this by Lee Fall, and it says, will we reset the game at launch? And this is a question that is really important to a lot of dual universe people out there, fans of dual universe, players of dual universe, because the reset would mean that everything you've built up until this point is dead. Now, frankly, the changes up until this point in the alpha form that it's in or beta form that it's in killed my interest, what they did to the game, but they couldn't afford the amount of servers. They couldn't afford the amount of data that was needed for the telemetry to keep track of all the mining going on, so they got rid of it. But the biggest question with dual universe has always been, will you fuck up my shit? People who play dual universe build these crazy structures. Some of the coolest I've ever seen. It is a sandbox in a way. In the terms of crafting, it's a sandbox. In the terms of manufacturing and industrial work, it's a sandbox. In the terms of trading, it's a sandbox. A lot of the pros and the reasons why I like it. But the biggest question on the people that play dual universe's mind is, are you going to fuck my shit up? Let's watch if they, in fact, reset everything back to zero. All your work gone. Could you imagine? Imagine that you put in years into dual universe. I'm one of it. Listen, I'm one of the people in we had a section in our Discord that was dual universe related. We were very active in dual universe for a very, very long time. You know, we had an organization, we were doing a lot of building, we were having a lot of fun, and then it dried up as the game. Like you can see here, lots of, like that's when the content started like I started getting mad. You know, it's never a good thing when the developers go off track. And then I start getting mad, right? That when the CEO stepped down, that's when I started getting mad with dual universe. But before that, if we really just scroll up here, you can really watch the conversation evolve and then die. You know, and we all were very involved. We were building, Fetson and I and Rocket Man and so many others. We took a lot of time to build custom boards, DG360 boards. There was a lot of work we put into this game, right? All that's going to be gone. I feel like they will reset. I feel like the DG360 tower will be crumbled and destroyed if it isn't already. I should probably pop back in just to see what's going on. There's so many things about dual universe that are awesome, but a lot of the changes, like James says, there is a lot of awesome sauce to it. But the changes were just so dramatic with the changes in mining, and how you mine now is just so generic, and it destroys scarcity in the ore that I just couldn't fathom it. I couldn't fathom what they were doing to the economy. They were ruining the economic gameplay by the changes they made. But let us check out in the look at this DJ area, this great reset here. And let's watch what they're up to.
This is NQ Neota, and we welcome.
By the way, the citizens in Dual Universe are called Novians. It is a PC game. It is a PC game. And I played this religiously for a year alongside with Star Citizen. And we were building and crafting, you know? I know, Architect. Can you believe that? We're having a super big energy stream today, buddy. Welcome. Welcome, man. It's good to see you here. But let's see if, in fact, this is a huge question. Guys, I'm building up the anticipation. I'm doing it on purpose because this is a big question. Let's see what they do.
Welcome you to this NovaQuark video presentation.
Oh, they're going to fuck it up.
Today, I am joined by two esteemed members of our NovaQuark team. First, please welcome from our game design team, NQ Entropy.
Hey, guys.
Also with us.
Listen, if you're a senior community manager, unless you have a crazy breakout of herpes, or you've got fucking, or you're disfigured, right? If you're a community manager, if you're the senior community manager, hold on a second.
Shame. Shame. Shame.
Listen, if Entropy and Deckard can be on deck, pun intended. I know I'm funny. If they can be on deck and show their faces, why then can Neota, the senior community manager,
Shame. Shame. Shame.
why? Why, in fact, can the community manager not show his or her face? Like, what is going on? Is there derp all over it? Okay, understand. Having a breakout? All right. Okay. Are you disfigured? Is something wrong? Do you have anxiety? Okay, got it. Wonderful. Just from the surface and how it's appearing to me, not good. The optics on this, they call it the optics, by the way, in the game development industry. That's what they call this. It's called optics. Oh, it's a silly word that's used by professionals to really explain like how this is perceived by the public. And let me tell you what, I'm going to tell you how it's perceived right now. Pretty bad when the senior community manager cannot show his or her face. No white background though. No white background, right, Luigi? Right.
Us is associate producer
Right.
and the wearer of many hats, NQ Deckard.
Hey, everyone.
For quite a few months now, the discussion about a dual universe reset or a wipe has been a very popular subject within our community and also
This is
inside
gonna fucking
of
put me to
NQ.
sleep.
We know
What
that
is
it
this?
has been difficult and not knowing what the future holds for
Oh God, you're reading off a script. This guy down here is like, really, you're just fucking up, Neota. Like, look, Deckard is really pissed off. Neota, can we rewind that, Pepe? I'd like to rewind that so that we can see Deckard's like really pissed off, shameful look at Neota for not reading the script correctly. Can we go back here? Hold on, let's just.
so inside of NQ. We know that it has been difficult and not knowing what the future holds for Dual Universe has left many of you frustrated.
Shame.
The NovaQuark team wishes
Shame.
to thank each and every one of
Shame.
you for your patience during this time. The main reason why it has taken
We are fucking this game up. I would like to read. Oh, was that? Should I not have said that out in public? You have it here written on the script that this game is getting fucked by us.
so long to come to a decision about a reset is because of how important it is to all of us to make the right choice. Included in that are the players, both new and experienced, as well as the game called Dual Universe. We have taken all of the
Deckard's like, enough
considerations
of this
into
shit.
account, and we examined every corner of the game with a fine-tooth comb. The decision-making was also an intensely involved process with many conversations across every department. Are you ready? The wait is now over. NQ Entropy, please give us the news that everyone has been waiting for.
The irony that this this developer's name is Entropy, because entropy is essentially like chaos, you know. There is no chaos or fun to this at all. It is all very well ordered. It is too structured for me. Like, there's no realness. When there's a presentation like this, I literally fall asleep. It reminds me of being in school again. I'm literally in middle school or high school, and I gotta sit in my fucking seat at my desk. The teacher's just spouting off a bunch of bullshit, or I gotta listen to some announcement on the fucking PA system, and it makes me want to rip out the teeth in my fucking mouth and like rip them out and throw my teeth down and be like, I will not listen to this, man. There is way too much fucking order in this and no realism. There's no realness. There's no truth or real to this. Dude, people like our game designers, what we've learned today on today's stream, on today's morning stream, we've learned that there needs to be tons of shame thrown around in the game developer industry. Like tons. Shame needs to be thrown everywhere.
Shame.
It seems like game developers don't know how to present their product. Like look at what we watched with Star Atlas, right? Look at what we talked about with Elite Dangerous. Now we're talking about it with Dual Universe. Here's 3 separate titles in the sci-fi realm trying to capture the fucking imaginations, and it seems like really Star Citizen is the only one that can do it right. Like, what is wrong with these game developers that they're not really realizing how to make connections to gamers? Are they that brain dead? Is there nobody in the fucking corporation that understands how to communicate to the gamer? Because this isn't doing it. I can't, like, I appreciate this by, let me go back here. Xperia put in there. I love it. Lee Fall, thank you. This is not a mark on you, dude. Like, first off, thank you. I'm just gonna tip of the hat, man. That's what I do when I do this, because I want Lee to understand. Like, I appreciate this, but shit, I cannot even start this without starting to fall asleep. You know? Right. Foot says it's a bunch of old corporate fucks taking over these gaming companies. That's why they can't make any connections with the gamers. I agree. Spray the shame everywhere. Unfortunately, they are under new management. James is right. James, you're absolutely right. This is what I talked about in when we went to the Dual Universe section of the Discord, which I'm seriously contemplating just deleting from the Discord. Don't even play the game anymore, which is sad. I do love the title. There are portions of it that I love, but they done fucked up the economy by creating unlimited amount of fucking roids based upon hours and a magical device that brings rocks to the fucking surface so that you can mine them. It's one of the most bullshit things I ever seen. I can understand why they did it. They had to reset the telemetry. They had to like take all the tunneling out because they couldn't handle the amount of data that it was taking. The amount of space that data was taking up was way too much for them to handle because subscribership was dropping and dropping and dropping like a lead fucking balloon. And it's sad because they don't know. Am I the only one that understands what the fuck is going on? I know you guys do. You guys watching know exactly what I'm talking about. The reason why the subscribership is dropping off like a lead balloon is because they don't know how to present their product. They don't know how to make it relevant to the people who are watching. Nobody wants to see this. Nobody wants to see this. 5 to 7 minutes tops. Make it digestible. Tell us what's going to happen without me having to watch 17 minutes and 25 seconds of this.
Will there be a reset of Dual Universe?
Yeah, so...
Oh!
There will be.
Oh, it went from this? It went from this to this. Wow, he just broke it down just like that. Oh, play the farts. You want a little fart action? There's some fart action. I mean, this has been talked about for so long in the Dual Universe community. Wow. Are there any caveats? Hold on one second.
A reset for Dual Universe at launch. Feels weird to finally say out loud, and again, we apologize for the time that it took to come out with this information. But before we go any further, 2 quick things. First of all, we're not going to say today when the launch is, but there will be some information about that rapidly.
Everybody up until the point of launch is going to stop playing. They literally just killed the gamer retention. Well, I mean, they've already done that, but they literally just killed themselves right there. Who's going to want to put in any effort now that they know everything's going to be reset, right? So right now, as of this video, like the gamer retention, it's going to go straight down the fucking tube. Like literally straight down the tube. So I hope that they're going to launch soon. Are they launching soon?
And second of all, we do have some rewards packages planned for you guys, and we will be.
I feel like they're just giving up
a little bit later.
Yeah.
So before we get to that, talking about the reset, let's talk about.
I mean, it looks like Deckard over there is happy. I feel like Deckard is the evil master of everything. Yeah, like I feel it says manager behind his title, and like I feel like Deckard is masterminding this, and I'm just getting this impression on the surface that Deckard is the reason. Fuck you, Deckard. Fuck you, Deckard.
The why. The beta has been running for over 2 years now. The game has been in constant development.
When are we launching?
The game has changed.
Okay, what's the launch date?
And some core features were changed or sometimes even just removed. The first thing that I want to talk about is the economy. Let's be honest, the economy right now is not in the best spots. I'm not here to claim that the economy after the reset.
The irony, right, Ash?
Perfect. It won't be. And it's
Love
something
you,
that
bro.
we're going to keep working on and keep adjusting. But right now, the economy sort of...
Right, look at Deckard sitting there confidently like some evil emperor just sitting there like, I've finally done it. I finally buried Dual Universe.
Exists in the shadows of everything that came previously.
Architects like the economy is a toilet right now.
Players obviously will know what I'm
Of course
talking
it's
about.
a toilet. Of course the economy in fucking Dual Universe is a toilet right now. First off, the player base dropped off the edge of the fucking planet because of the changes that they made, you know? Creating a magical mining machine that you put on the surface of the planet that brings up rocks to the surface is so fantastical and far out and lacks all of imagination in game design, and killed the economy because there's no more scarcity at all. I mean, you could debate there is some level of scarcity depending upon the number of miners and then the hours that it takes to bring these things to the surface. Collectively speaking, you could break it down into a chart and you could say, oh, I can mine this in an average with my magic machine of this much per hour, but you can multiply that times the amount of fucking magical mining machines that you can get. And, you know, we can get serious if you want to break down the numbers, okay? But essentially what they ended up doing with this change by creating these magical mining machines that we've talked about in the past is they've opened the floodgate on the supply. They literally it's like, okay, there's no more scarcity. It doesn't take any work to take or extract ore from a planet. You just magically get it. Now, the second you do that, what the fuck do you think's going to happen to that economy? It's going to, like, why can't these people get this shit through their head? They failed on game design, in my opinion. They failed on the game design, and they're failing on presentation, and the numbers keep dropping and dropping and dropping because of bad management. Now, if Deckard's coming in here and Deckard's going to sit there and gloat with that kind of like, I sure as hell want to hear what direction we're heading in after this reset. Do you know how many people are just going to be fucking bummed out that everything that they built is going to basically be scratched? I mean, there was that. Everybody knew that could be something that could happen, but this is finally like, yes, it is going to happen. So, like, I think they put the final nail in the coffin. This could be the final nail in the coffin of Dual Universe. I mean, they're already buried. Let's just be real. The final nail was already set, and the coffin was already buried. This could literally be an unburying and then a rebury. But instead of 6 feet down, we're going to bury you 12 feet down. You know, like, Jesus Christ.
Big duping exploits at various points. We had things like the mega nodes, which pumped a ton of materials into the game.
Absolutely, James. Absolutely.
The uncapped affiliate mission.
James says this is what sucks about server-based creation games. You are at the mercy, right? And the thing is this. If they had a healthy, positive attitude and they focused on gameplay that gamers want, right? And then they produced content that showcased it, that's all you need to do. It's as simple as that. right? And then you would have the subscriber explode. It's a subscription-based plan for Dual Universe, by the way, for people that don't understand how the mechanics of the revenue works on the business side of things. People are paying NovaQuark a monthly subscription in order to pay Dual Universe. I think the last time I checked, it was $7. I could be incorrect by $1 or $2, but I think it was like $7 a month. It's very similar to the way that EVE Online did their thing. And I think Dual Universe was going to employ like a Plex Pay type system, very similar to what EVE Online did too. I could be wrong about that, but I think that was in the works. That was talked about. But it doesn't even matter now because they have squashed their player base. They have literally stamped it into the ground, and they have put out the fire. They have put out the like when Dual Universe first came out, that imagination just went. And then as more and more development happened, I think it ran off in a weird direction. And the developers, I think, stopped listening to the player base. And to a degree, they overcomplicated. Like, I love complicated games. I love games that you have to take some time to learn, no doubt. I like intelligent based, like you have to have a level of IQ to play games. I have always liked that. But I think Dual Universe ran with that ball way too far. I think they kind of overly complex certain aspects of their game design. I appreciated that, but they also had to keep in mind that maybe, you know, some of the things that they were getting into weren't really the issues, weren't really the problems. When basic issues like creating a subscriber base and bringing people in is also very important. That's a balance that's very hard for game development companies to keep in line. That's a tightrope walk for game developers, trying to figure out like how to walk that tightrope and balance between those two dynamics. It is a hard thing to do. But today, we have seen a complete, utter failure of the gaming industry in terms of communication with its gamer base. Not even knowing what it is that your gamer base wants is the number one problem and why game developers go bankrupt. You have to be connected to the gameplay and the gamer. You have to have a pulse on that dynamic or you die, period. And we're watching it play out with a lot of titles today. This is one of them.
Which added a ton of...
I really do too, James. I really hope Dual Universe will be successful.
Problems in their own right.
They got a long way to go, though. They got to unbury themselves.
Over on this point.
There you go.
From our side,
yes,
we need to be vigilant.
Yes,
not to let that sort of thing happen again. But I don't think we could continue and try to fix the state of the economy as it is right now. Secondly, let's talk a little bit about performance and let's talk a little bit about planets.
I mean, that was a bold statement. Applause to that. Actually, applause to that. Yeah. Entropy seriously was like, listen, it's a fucking dumpster fire. Like, Entropy literally admitted, like, it's a fucking dumpster fire. The economy is fucking a dumpster fire and we're going to start at zero. But that doesn't necessarily fix the economy. They fundamentally fucked the supply and demand system in any economy, whether you're merging AI and algorithms with it, like Star Citizen is trying to do with Quantum, or whether you're doing player-driven economies like EVE Online. The one key factor that you cannot fuck with for gameplay that keeps for economic gameplay that keeps making you come back is don't fuck with the natural order of supply and demand. One of the reasons I'm really worried about Star Citizen and the fact that they're having Quantum or this AI or the code taking the driver's seat, obviously they're doing it to police it so there's not any exploitation, which again is kind of laughable because trading is in fact exploitation. Trading by exploiting, that's called your profit margin, by the way. But anyway, I get why it is that they're trying to do what they do because there's such a bad taste in the mouth with the player-driven economies. I understand that, right? But one of the things that brought me to EVE Online was player-driven economies. One of the things that brought me to many games that had player-driven economies was, in fact, that we had the power to exploit if we wanted to. And if somebody wanted to come along and battle us in our armchair and come at us with lower pricing on supply or out-research us and figure out like how to get like supply into areas where there's huge demand but like maybe a little bit riskier, so then you could actually exploit the margin a little bit, bring that up and make extra money. That's what made that type of gameplay fun. That's why I got into Dual Universe. That's exactly why I got into dual universe, you know, because of player-driven economies. But when you start fucking with the supply and demand, right? And for instance, in dual universes model, in their economic model, when they introduce these magical mining machines and stop the actual physical gaming effort it took to mine ore by digging tunnels and finding it and mining it, and they took that equation out because they couldn't handle the cost of the servers because they've completely squashed their subscriber base by not producing good content and really not listening to their gamer base, you know. Once they did that, they completely killed the game. Because they opened the door, they said, here's all the supply in the fucking world. The scarcity was gone. When the scarcity is gone, what happens to the price? When there's so much supply and little demand, because when your player base is leaving, which is your demand, right? There's your demand. Gamers, okay? They're buying things in the game. When that starts dropping, demand starts dropping, okay? When you open up supply and make a supply unlimited and there's no scarcity and you say, here's everything in the world to a player base that's shrinking, you killed your economy. Why can't people think about that? So now they're going to reset everything. And they're thinking, hey, if we reboot it, it's going to be fixed. But it won't. Because the game design is flawed at its core because they're keeping the supply unlimited.
So, we've done geometry resets before. Some of you guys have been through them. These are usually a little bit painful for everybody involved.
It's a lot bit painful. The whole thing's painful. It's a fucking, it takes effort to get through the video. It takes effort to get through the video. Like, really. Like, this is the thing. I'm done watching.